Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh dan selamat pagi kepada semua penonton secara langsung Facebook Live Taiping Berweek 2021, Fascinity Taiping, Zoo Taiping Nak Safari dan Majlis Perbadangan Taiping. Kembali lagi kita pada hari kedua Taiping Berweek 2021 dan anda masih ditemani oleh saya Haji Yus selaku moderator Taiping Berweek 2021 secara maya pada hari ini. Jika semalam kita sudah menyaksikan majlis perasmian Taiping Berweek 2021 yang telah disempurnakan oleh Yang Berusaha Tuan Khairul Amir W. Muhammad Zubir selaku Yang Dipertua Majlis Perbadanan Taiping, serta sesi perkongsian informasi keseluruhan pengisian program Taiping Berweek 2021 oleh Encik Saiful atau lebih dikelilingi sebagai Apong, iaitu seorang berdi yang tidak asing lagi. Pada pagi ini, Taiping Berweek 2021 akan dimulakan dengan slot Bird Watching in Taiping, My Personal Experience. Jadi mana kita bawa khas panel-panel jemputan yang mempunyai pengalaman luas dalam bidang pemerhatian burung atau bird watching. Panel yang pertama ialah Encik Ismail Haji Muhammad daripada Jabatan Perkhidmatan Semenanjung Malaysia dan akan diteruskan dengan Encik Andrew Sebastian daripada Ecotourism and Conservation Society Ekonomi, Dr. Chan Kai Sun daripada Malaysia Nature Society Perak dan terakhir sekali Encik Andy Lee daripada World Bird Club Malaysia. Kesemua panel-panel jemputan ini akan berkongsi pengalaman aktiviti pemerhatian burung atau bird watching di seluruh dunia, khususnya dan di kawasan Taiping secara amnya. Sesi perkongsian ini adalah bertujuan untuk memberikan pendedahan kepada seluruh masyarakat, pelancong dan komuniti terutamanya di kawasan Taiping berkaitan aktiviti pemerhatian burung atau bird watching yang kini menjadi salah satu aktiviti yang semakin popular. Kini Taiping bukan sahaja terkenal sebagai lokasi pelancongan berasaskan ekodaluarsa, sejarah, rekreasi, makanan menarik, malahan turut dijadikan lokasi pengumpul pemerhati burung di seluruh dunia. Sedikit perkongsian iaitu hasil pemerhatian semasa Taiping Bird Week 1.0 yang telah berlangsung pada tahun 2017 yang lalu telah direkodkan sebanyak 127 spesies burung yang dilihat di kawasan utama di kawasan Taiping iaitu di Bukit Larut, Taman Tasik Taiping dan Kuala Sebetang. Kita yakin bagi tempoh 2017 hingga 2021 terdapat pertambahan kepada spesies burung di kawasan Taiping. Majlis Perbadanan Taiping berharap akan dapat menarik lebih ramai pemerhati burung-burung di kawasan Taiping untuk terus berkunjung ke Taiping selepas aktiviti pelancongan dibenarkan untuk dibuka kepada orang ramai. Okey, kepada para penonton bolehlah klik button share untuk sesi program pada pagi ini. Sesi live ini dapat ditonton melalui empat platform media sosial iaitu Taiping Bird Week 2021. Platform yang kedua kita ada Fascinity Taiping. Platform ketiga kita ada platform Zoo Taiping dan Nak Safari, dan juga kita ada Facebook Majlis Pemerhatian Taiping itu sendiri. Okey, saya rasa panel-panel semua sudah bersedia untuk kita berdiskusi pada pagi ini. Dan saya rasa tanpa membuang masa, saya menjemput kesemua panel-panel jemputan untuk meneruskan sesi perkongsian kita dan pengalaman kita mereka masing-masing. Okey, adakah kita punya panel semua sudah bersedia? Okey, kita mempersilakan kesemua empat panel kita di dalam sesi forum kita pada pagi ini. Dipersilakan.
Assalamualaikum Encik Ismail.
Waalaikumsalam. Ya, apa khabar?
Alhamdulillah.
Ya.
Ada nampak apa-apa pula ke yang untuk Tadi ni hut.
Tak ada, cuma nampak kelibat dia ada main kat sini, kawasan sini lah.
Oh,
Tapi,
tak berlaku lah kali 3-4-0 nampak ni.
Itu pun saya tak pasti lah. Kita berharapkan komuniti sini dan juga orang tempatan sini, kalau ada rekod dia ada besaran, kita beritahu kita lah. Cuba kalau ikut yang sekarang ni, pattern sekarang ni dia bertelur dan membiak pada bulan 4 dan bulan 6. So diharapkan mungkin tahun ni tak ada lagi. Diharapkan tahun depan mungkin dia akan datang lagi lah untuk bersarang di
Harap-harap begitu lah.
Tasik Taiping ni.
InsyaAllah.
Ya.
Selanjutnya berbicara pasal hut ni Cik Ismail. Sebenarnya berapa kita punya burung di Malaysia ni, ada berapa banyak?
Oh, okey. Kalau burung di Malaysia ni kita kirakan dia sebagai burung air dan juga burung hutan. So, untuk keseluruhan spesies yang ada di Malaysia ada lebih kurang 825 spesies, termasuk Sabah dan Sarawak lah.
Ya.
Dan untuk di Semenanjung Malaysia saja kita ada lebih kurang 703 spesies. Yang termasuk dalam ni ada sebanyak lebih kurang 157 spesies adalah spesies burung hijrah yang ada dekat Malaysia sini lah.
Banyak macam tu.
Ya.
825 spesies, banyak tu Cik Ismail.
Ya.
Jadi adakah burung-burung ni memainkan peranan dalam kehidupan kita?
Ya. Burung ni memang betul-betul menjadi satu peranan kepada kita lah, kepada manusia. Yang pertamanya dia sebagai indikator ataupun petunjuk arah kepada persekitaran. Sama ada persekitaran itu ada pencemaran ataupun tidak. Yang kedua dia sebagai sumber makanan kepada manusia. Contoh sebagai ayam yang ada sekarang ni.
Ayam bitik.
Okey. Ketiga dia sebagai ejen pengawalan secara biologi. Yang sekarang ni banyak digunakan pakai di ladang-ladang sawit menggunakan burung hantu untuk mengawal tikus di kawasan ladang. Dan juga sekarang ni bukan diusahakan oleh orang, tapi dia secara semula jadi burung batak yang membantu petani di kawasan Kedah dan juga Perlis
yang dia makan siput.
Siput gondang. Membantu petani lah. Itu kawalan biologi. Dan keempat ni dia sebagai ejen pendubungan. Macam pokok-pokok berbunga dia membantu lah untuk pendubungan tumbuh-tumbuhan dan sebagainya.
Jadi hinggap tu.
Yang lima, burung ni juga sebagai ejen pengurai makanan. Yang bakai dia makan macam burung gagak, burung herring. Dia makan bakai. Terus sekarang ni yang jumpa-jumpa bakai dia tolong kita untuk menghapuskan yang ni adalah burung gagak.
Gagak lah yang tolong bersihkan.
Ya, bersihkan dia. Dia cuba dia makan benda-benda kotor.
Okey. Cik Ismail, kalau lah saya berminat lah untuk jadi pemerhati burung ni, apa agak-agak dia punya keperluan syarat-syarat dia tu?
Ya, sebenarnya kalau untuk memerhati burung ni dia tak susah sangat. Yang pertama, you kena ada kesabaran.
Oh, itu yang nombor satu.
Pasal burung ni benda hidup, benda bergerak. Jadi bila kita menggunakan peralatan yang sesuai, benda ni dia tak duduk statik. Susah lah, ada juga spesies tertentu yang duduk statik.
Yang diam
Diam. Yang ni yang banyak pergerakan. Jadi kita kena sabar dengan perangai burung.
Ya.
Baru boleh pergi. Yang keduanya kita perlu ada minat. Kalau tak minat susah. Mungkin kita ingat secara semula jadinya kita just buat tak tahu
apa yang ada ya. Burung apa yang meninggal kita tak tahu kan.
Sampai sekarang ada yang tak tahu. Memang tak tahu yang belakang rumah. Kita tahu apa spesies burung yang ada.
Even di belakang rumah kita. Yang sekeliling kita.
Tahu.
Jadi macam tu je kalau kata ni kawasan-kawasan mana yang agak potensial lah, yang berkemungkinan besar untuk burung-burung ni ada.
Okey. Kalau burung ni yang kita ada ikut pensuaian dia mengikut habitat. Kita ada burung tanah tinggi. Macam kat sini Taiping kita ada Bukit Larut.
Okey.
Okey. Yang di kat sini dia juga ada Taiping ni juga ada kawasan tasik, kawasan air. Di sini kita ada burung air dan juga burung hutan dekat bukit ni dan juga kawasan terbuka.
Ya.
Dan juga di satu lagi di Taiping juga ada kawasan paya bakau yang boleh mengumpul spesies-spesies burung shorebird ataupun burung penghijrah lain yang burung ni lah. Kita panggil burung Wedes lah.
Ya.
Burung baharu.
Jadi dia tiga.
Yang di situ lah. So jadi benda ni kita punya,
maksudnya kita kena tahu apa di sini ni apa ada. Di sini memang apa ada kan. Ikut pada habitat dia.
Ikut habitat dia. Jadi kita nanti kalau nak cara nak mengenali pun lain lah cara dia lah. Ikut habitat dia lain. Pasal setiap habitat burung spesies ada berbeza-beza.
Ya.
Paya bakau lain, kawasan tasik lain, tinggi
warna pun kadang macam kan.
Bukannya sama.
Cik Meh, jom kita pergi tengok depan tu.
Okey.
Nampak macam menarik kan, pokok boleh teropong lah orang kan.
Okey. Nampak ada pokok ni.
Boleh Cik Ismail? Boleh Cik Ismail cerita lah berkaitan dengan alat yang Cik Ismail guna tu, teropong tu?
Teropong. Okey. Ini sebenarnya teropong ni ada banyak jenis. Kalau ikut sekarang ni dia ada dua. Yang ni model yang terpakai ni adalah Reka 1050. Okey, kebanyakan digunakan yang untuk beding, untuk memburung, tengok burung paling sesuai adalah 1042. Dia tak besar sangat dan tak kecil sangat.
Image dalam.
Dalam ni kita ada, kalau kita pakai orang ramai yang menggunakan 1050 ni dia terlampau berat. Dia berat sikit. Jadi leher kita
dia akan
sakit dah sikit lah. Kalau 1040 ataupun 1052 dia lebih ringan. Sesuai lah untuk ni. Kalau ni lain-lain tak ada lah. Kalau cuma fungsi-fungsi dia lah, penggunaan dia macam mana. Macam yang tak pakai semata ataupun pakai semata, ini akan diajar balik lah cara penggunaan dia.
Boleh. With dengan without.
Without dengan ni. Seperti lah. Semua ada banyak jenis lah, ada kamera ni. Bergantung pada harga dan kemampuan kita lah untuk menggunakan dia.
Dan menjadi satu keperluan lah untuk kita lihat yang jauh pun kan.
Selain ini, teropong, kita untuk memburu, kita ada peralatan yang zaman sekarang ni banyak orang guna dah kamera digital. Contoh sekarang ni contoh dia untuk merakam semua. Dia lebih mudah bila pasal dia rakam dan dia tak lari dah benda tu. Kalau teropong
image dia dapat.
Bila kita teropong, bila tengok benda tu, bila burung dah terbang, image dah hilang. Kalau kamera sekarang ni dia dah rakam dan kita boleh tengok sampai bila-bila.
Jadi maksud kata bila dapat image tu kena cepat-cepat lah.
Dia cepat-cepat. Dia cepat-cepat untuk ID dia tu macam mana nak mengenal burung tu. Jadi cepat memori kita dan mengenal kalau kita ada buku rujukan. Lagi baiklah. Dalam bila kita memburu, kita nak perlu ada buku nota untuk mencatatkan apa yang kita lihat. So sekarang mungkin pasal burung mungkin dia bagi kita dalam masa 5 ataupun 10 saat.
Ya, memang cepat.
Memang cepat. Kalau kita boleh cepat, boleh tengok ciri-ciri dia, ciri morfologi dia. And then kita catatkan dulu apa dia, lukis, buat sketch dekat buku nota kita. And then baru kalau kita dah tahu, baru kita tengok pada buku rujukan.
Okey, lepas ni Cik Mai tunjukkan saya pula lah.
Boleh.
Kita rujukan. Boleh. Keperluan ni bukan sekadar teropong kan lah. Ada buku-buku rujukan tu
buku tu perlu. Perlu kita notakan dia. Pasal kita memori tu bukan kuat sangat. Bukan komputer pun boleh break down.
Betul.
Otak kita tu boleh cepat lupa.
Jadi maksudnya kita nampak dan terus kita
rekodkan dulu. Rekod dan baru kita rujuk.
Okey, lepas ni Cik Mai tunjukkan saya pula.
Boleh, tak ada masalah. Okey.
Berapa spesies enggang yang ada di Taiping?
Dekat Taiping ni kita ada 3 spesies enggang yang daripada 10 spesies yang terdapat di Malaysia. Yang pertamanya Oriental Pet Hornbill ataupun enggang kelingking. Yang keduanya Rhinoceros Hornbill atau enggang badak. Dan yang ketiga Great Hornbill iaitu enggang papai.
Okey bang. Tadi abang nak bercerita dekat saya pasal apa? Macam nak merekodkan burung-burung ni dengan nak mengenal pasti spesies burung ni.
Okey. So sekarang ni kalau ikut bagi untuk permulaan, untuk mengenal burung yang beginner lah, yang baru start nak belajar pasal burung. Kita ada banyak buku rujukan lah.
Boleh bertahan juga buku-buku lah.
Itu yang syarat dia mesti nak ada teropong satu.
Teropong yang utama.
Ada. Kalau tak ada binocular, pakai kamera. Dan ini adalah buku rujukan kalau kita dapat kenal lah. Okey, dia ada banyak-banyak versi. Dia keluarkan yang terbaru, yang lama sikit pun. Kalau nak senang yang berjalan, kita gunakan pocketbook. Ini lebih nipis, lebih ringan lah. Ini lebih ringan gunakan. Dan kita juga perlukan buku nota dan alat tulis. Pen lah.
Pen lah.
Okey, saya ada pen. Mana nak take pen? Okey, saya ada pen sini. Okey, ada pen. Bila kita dah tengok tadi burung tu, kita nak betulkan apa ciri-ciri burung tu. Jadi kita tak dapat nak ID dia. Jadi kita nak report buku ni kita tak sempat. Jadi apa yang perlu kita buat, kita catatkan dalam buku kita.
Okey.
Contoh kita hari ni 17 bulan. Okey, kita catat 17 bulan. Di mana lokasi kita, jam berapa, apa spesies dia. Dan okey, untuk mengenal spesies burung yang ada di Malaysia ni, kita perlu tengok saiz burung tu. Macam mana saiz dia, sama ada kecil ataupun sederhana ataupun yang saiz yang besar. Dan perlu juga kita perlu tengok pada warna pada badan burung tersebut. Bahagian-bahagian warna pada badan. Macam mana rupa dia, sama ada warna terang bahagian, ciri-ciri sama ada topokan ataupun ada bahagian kepala atau telinga atau bahagian ekor dia macam mana. Dan dari segi bentuk dia, poster dia, maksud dia poster dia mana secara sifat apa dipanggil bentuk burung tersebut. Macam burung pigeon, macam mana dia punya cara dia duduk. Burung belatuk, macam mana dia punya poster dia, duduk-dudukan dia. Burung kedidi, macam mana rupa dia. Burung helang, macam mana cara dia. Itu maknanya dia punya tanda bentuk dia, kita boleh tahu dari segi keluarga dia lah. Dan juga perlu daripada dalam bentuk paruh, macam mana paruh burung tersebut. Dia akan berbeza-beza mengikut spesies. Kalau jenis dalam keluarga nectar macam sunbird ataupun spider hunter, paruh dia lebih melengkung untuk dia gunakan untuk menyisap madu lah, nektar pada bunga ya. Dan juga macam burung belatuk, paruh dia lebih tajam, dia untuk mematuk pada batang-batang kayu. Dan burung heron, bangau contohnya, pucung, dia punya paruh yang tajam untuk menggunakan untuk menangkap mangsa dia, macam ikan ataupun katak ataupun ular lah dari kecil. Dan burung helang, paruh dia macam mana, yang lebih cengkok, hujung dia tu lebih tajam dan berbentuk cengkok lah, dia untuk menggigit mangsa dan mengoyak daging lah. Serta perlu kita tengok adalah bentuk ekor dia. Maksudnya rupa bentuk ekor dia, sama ada dia ada lawi macam burung cacawi, dia ada anting-anting dia panggil. Lawi dia, bentuk ekor sama ada bentuk dia berbentuk kipas ataupun rata biasa, macam fantail, maksudnya burung fantail ataupun forktail, bentuk ekor bercabang ke macam mana. Itu kita perlu tengok ciri-ciri dia. Dan juga kita perlu tengok juga cara dia terbang macam mana. Kalau ada burung ni terbang, dia ada banyak cara dia. Ada yang berbentuk macam burung helang, dia ada berlega-lega, berpusing-pusing di satu tempat lah. Dan ada juga macam burung bangau, kalau dia terbang dalam kumpulan yang banyak, dia ada shape dia tertentu. Kalau kita tengok, kalau pada petang kita selalu nampak macam mana dia bentuk terbang. Dan macam burung pipit, macam dia berbentuk wave, gelombang dia terbang, mana turun naik, dia tak tentu rata. Ada yang burung pigeon, dia terbang terus laju aja, dia tak ada bentuk lenggok-lenggok lah. Itu dari segi itu kita boleh tahu lah apa spesies dari keluarga mana dia duduk lah dalam ni lah. Dan kalau untuk birds yang agak pengalaman, dia boleh tahu dari segi bunyi lah. Bunyi-bunyi dia memainkan peranan. Kadang-kadang burung di dalam hutan kita susah nak tengok, tapi dari segi bunyi dia dapat mengenal burung yang ada di kawasan itu lah.
Hi, I'm Andrew Sebastian, President and CEO of Ecotourism and Conservation Society, EcoMai. My NGO focuses on protecting nature through ecotourism and sustainable travel. I'm also a professional bird watching and wildlife guide. I do naturalist tours in the country and around the region. And Taiping is one of my favorite spots to bring tours and even bird watch on my own. The most amazing thing about Taiping is that you can marry culture, natural history, wildlife, and of course amazing birds all in one trip. So in Taiping, for example, by just walking along its beautiful, majestic and well-known lake gardens, you can already tick off 20 to 40 different species of birds, and some of them are Sunda endemics and pretty amazing birds to find. Now for us, when we have tours into Taiping, we like to marry the lake gardens with Maxwell Hill or Bukit Larut, because you get lowland birds as well as lower montane birds all in one single trip of 2 days or even 2 nights. Some of the special birds are also dispensed around a few different sections like Kuala Gula and Matang, where you get mangrove and coastal birds. So a trip to Taiping or a bird tour in Taiping is amazing because of the variety of species you get in terms of ecosystem. I think what is special in Taiping in terms of ecotourism, I think we need to have more access and more trails up in Maxwell Hill, because the route in Taiping and the lake gardens is already well established. Now all you have to do is invest in having better trails and having local community guides that take people from point A to point B, seeing beautiful species of birds and wildlife. We also need to invest in educating and localized training for guides. For birding tourism and avi tourism, I think Majlis Pembaraan Taiping has been doing quite good work. They've been open to suggestions, they've been open to partnerships with NGOs and so on, and that is a very good foundation to set in terms of building this place up as a next important ecotourism site for the country. Taiping has been put on the map because of the Taiping Bird Week. It is an annual event, and I hope it continues to go in strength in years to come. With the Bird Week, it spills over to having this place being well mentioned and well tagged as an important birding area for the country. So bird watchers from around the world, this is the place to be if you want to see variety, you want to have great food, you want to have some history, and most amazingly, you want to have natural sites for you to walk, enjoy with your friends on a tour or otherwise. It's all right here.
An MNS member for 20 years, during which I have gone to Taiping for birding. Taiping has special significance in the hearts of MNS members because MNS was formed in Taiping in 1940 and Perak branch formed 20 years later. We have conducted various important activities in Taiping over the past years. MNS chose Taiping to be the venue for its 75th AGM in 2015. The 4th Symposium on Asian Raptors was organized by MNS in Taiping as well. For several years, we had also organized the Taiping Raptor Watch at Taiping Central Mall. Had the MNS Perak Bird Walk as well as other birding activities to Taiping in the past. My birding experiences in Taiping can be organized into 5 areas in and around Taiping. These are the lake gardens, Bukit Larut foothills, a feeder at the jeep track, and then the jeep track in the lowland and mountain zones. Birding at lake gardens can be for birds in the water or nearby, or look for them in the car park area, or look for fruiting trees where there are a lot of birds feeding. The oriental pied hornbills are very common in the lake gardens. They build nests inside big holes inside the rain trees. During the duration of the nesting, the female and the chicks will be locked inside the hole, and hornbills are nicknamed jailbirds. A Pair of rhinoceros hornbills is also quite common in the lake gardens. Hornbills usually eat fruits as their most common diets, but in this case, they also search for insects in the trees. The milky stork is a species of bird listed as endangered. Only small numbers are found in West Malaysia and Indonesia. The birds in the lake gardens are free-flying birds from the zoo. The long-tailed parakeet is a species of bird that is listed as near threatened. Like the hornbills, they also make nests inside the trees. They are very common in the lake gardens as well. The spotted wood owl is a species of nocturnal raptors. This species is also commonly found roosting in the lake gardens area. The rufous-bellied eagle is an uncommon resident raptor of Malaysia. This bird was found flying over the car park of the lake gardens. The blue-eared barbet is a common lowland forest barbet. Their calls can often be heard, but they are often not seen because they are small and high up. When they are fruiting trees in the lake gardens, they come down and thus can be seen more easily. The thick-billed pigeon is another species of bird that often visits the fruiting tree. The male has a much more colorful feather than the females. The green imperial pigeon is not a threatened species of bird. However, it is seldom found in West Malaysia. We are lucky to see it in the lake gardens once. The large green pigeon is a species of lowland pigeon. We are lucky to have a female bird visit the lake gardens on one occasion. A common kingfisher is a small migratory kingfisher to lake gardens. It is a favorite subject for many bird photographers. The Chinese pond heron is a common migrant species. These birds turn into colorful breeding plumages just before the return. The Javan pond heron is less common than the Chinese pond heron. These birds will also turn into the breeding plumage before they return to breed. A very interesting record of nesting of the Eurasian hoopoe at the lake gardens. A more detailed presentation will be given later on. The second birding zone around Taiping is the Bukit Arok foothills. It consists of lowland forests and forest edges, with some places having fruiting trees which are good for bird watching. Grey-bellied bubu. This is a species of near-threatened forest birds. The scaly-breasted bubu is another near-threatened lowland forest bird. It has a very nice look and is a favorite for bird photographer. The black-crested bubu is mostly a montane bird, but it does sometimes come down to the lowlands. The crimson-breasted flowerpecker also likes to visit the fruiting tree. This is a colorful male bird.
Hello. First of all, I would like to thank Majlis Perpandaran Taiping, the organizer of Taiping Bird Week 2021, for having me here today. My talk today is my birding adventure. Sorry, let me move this a bit. My journey for birds has taken me to many birding sites in Malaysia and also to other countries in Asia. I have encountered different types of birds and habitat. My talk is in three parts: my profile, birding around Asia, and also my Taiping Week 2017 encounter. So this is me and my birding year. Who am I? My name is Andy Lee. My profession, Regional Sales and Technical Manager Southeast Asia for metal forming and metal working lubricants. I'm also the forming lubricant application. I'm also a forming lubricant application technician, semi-retired, now going to be a full-time birder soon. Birding experience, I have more than 11 years of birding activities. I attended the beginner course and also the intermediate course. I believe we have to start off correctly here to enjoy our birding hobby better. I have seen more than 540 plus bird species in Peninsular Malaysia. Currently, I'm a member of Warbird Club Malaysia and also MNS, was the coordinator for Selangor Bird Group and now the president of Warbird Club Malaysia. Warbird Club Malaysia, or WBCM, is a registered non-profitable membership-based organization. Our vision is to see nature and people live in greater harmony and more sustainably. Our mission strives to conserve Malaysia's unique birds and their habitats, promoting best practices of bird watching and encouraging people to enjoy bird watching and value nature. This is our logo. So to visit our homepage, www.warbirdclub.my, or Facebook, Warbird Club Malaysia WBCM for more information on our activities. And this is our contact number, email contact address. My second part of the talk is birding around Asia. I'm sharing two destinations, Nepal and Taiwan, where the birding conditions were completely different. So Nepal offers many exotic bird species and beautiful landscape. My first stop was for raptor watching at the Australian base camp, Tulakaka. This was where we stayed for 6 nights. And the background here is the Annapurna Himalayan range. Here is the place where we stayed to wait for the raptor to come in, and our lodging was here. The raptors will fly in this way. So there were 9 species of raptors found here. So the most common of all, the Himalayan vulture. This is the juvenile. Come on, move. And this is the adult bird, the white rum vulture. The Lama Gaya, or the bearded vulture, you can see that just got a beard here. Another view. And you notice that unlike most vulture, the bearded vulture does not have a bald head. It got feather. Most other vulture, they don't have feather. Some other raptors at the Australian base camp, this is the steppe eagle. Oh, yeah, there were plenty of them. This is the Bonali eagle. So the next part of the journey was for another 7 to 8 days. As this was a highland bird watching trip, our means of transport was walking. We walked a lot for this. So this was at around 3,900 meters. This was the place we were staying. And you notice at this higher elevation, the trees are there were not so many trees around, or you can't see tall trees here. So food and lodging is very minimal. This is inside our restaurant, our hotel, or our rest house. Where you enter, you can see everything in one view. Food is very minimal. You see, it's mainly rice and dal, and only rice and curry. Unforgettable moments. So if you can see in this photo here, these children as young as 6 years old, they have to go out to help their family to gather firewoods. So we consider ourselves damn lucky in Malaysia. This is another photo that I like very much. Standing here, you have the feeling that you are at the top of the world, or nearly at the top. So this here are some weeds. We call this lichen. So they are very colorful in the cold season. Of course, we saw many types of birds here. One of them that I like very much is the blood pheasant. My next stop, Taiwan. Taiwan is a comfortable, relaxing, and a very safe birding destination. All the sites are easily accessed by car. Food and hotel accommodation, excellent. Our first stop, Ta Se San National Forest Reserve. This is a highland birding area. The lodging here the chalet here are very clean and well kept. Most people come here for this pheasant. This is a Mikado pheasant. It's endemic Taiwan. You can see them quite easily at kilometer 42 at the top of the hill. And the Swingho pheasant, another endemic here, and this is at kilometer 24. But you must know the exact location to see them. Other birds at Ta Se San, the grey-headed bullfinch. This is not yet endemic, but it's supposed to be subspecies. The white-eared sibia is endemic. It's a beautiful sibia. The brown dipper. So this bird loves to live near the water, fast-flowing water. I do not know how they can get food. Lowland birding at Ping Tung University. So surprised to find this rare resident, the maroon oriole at this university area. So this bird, many of us have seen before. Despite its name, the Malayan night heron is more common in Taiwan than in Malaysia. In fact, you can see them easily everywhere. Another bird that we went for was the fairy pitta. So this we saw at the Lukumai forest in Hubei. And at this forest also, we saw also the bamboo partridge, endemic bird. So like I say, birding in Taiwan is very easy. So we can actually drive right to the Anggu wetlands in Jiayi district. This is the largest wetland, I think, in Taiwan. The roads are well kept. So we saw many ducks. So one of them is the Eurasian bill. This is the male. And also the Eurasian spoonbill. This is the juina. The bills are still not black. The pipe uppercut. So this we saw nearly 150 to 200 of them, a big flock of them here. Another bird, again, the spoonbill. So this is a black-faced spoonbill. About 500 of them were recorded here. So one of the largest outside their original country, the country of origin. All these are migrant. Some moments that I like very much. This was our lodging at Pita Cafe in Hubei, the place where we found the pita, and like it because it's Pita Cafe. And inside the registration area, there's a small corner where they sell a lot of birding souvenir. And the owner of this of this place is also a birder. So I bought one of these owl tower. One tower, I can see all the owls of Taiwan. Not bad, huh? So a group photo in front of the garden. So a group of happy birders from Malaysia. And you know why we are happy? So if we cannot see the real bird, we can see the the pita here in the garden easily. So this is the owner of the cafe. My last stop, my Taiping Bird Week Encounter 2017. This was group photo at the end of the session. So welcoming us was Encik Sulaiman or Mr. Tang at the registration desk. Each of us were given one of this. So the participants were given this to hang around our neck for identification when we move around. So after lunch, we gather for briefing. So Encik Ismail from NEST were giving us some instruction. So bird watching sites selected for the survey were Taiping Lake Gardens, up to the foothill of Maxwell Hill. Maxwell Hill from the gate, that is the entrance, to the top of the hill, Kuala Spitang, a mangrove area, and also survey by boat. We were divided into 3 teams on a rotation basis. Each team have to do a half-day count at each site. So the first site, Kuala Spitang, the mangrove area. So we do our birding, our count along this wooden path. So some birds we saw, collared kingfisher, surprised to see the crested serpent eagle inside the mangrove area. And the greater flameback, this bird you can only find in the mangrove area. Very beautiful woodpecker. Bird count along the river, this was the pickup point, the jetty where we started. So when we arrived, it was high tide, the mud flat was submerged. So it's not an ideal time to look for birds in this type of habitat. So we found some birds because of tide, they were all roosting on the trees, mangrove along the river. This is a little egret and the great egret. Terns, some red shank, common red shank, and also surprised to see this black-capped kingfisher. This is also a migrant. It's a very shy bird, beautiful bird. So at Maxwell Hill was not so pleasant. It was raining most of the time. The mist was thick. The birds were more heard than seen. See, it's so difficult to see. We have to really look very hard for the bird. And this, the only bird that is very cooperative is the black-crested bulbul. He came out for us to give a good view. Bird count at Taiping Lake Gardens. So I love very much this rain tree. Giving us good shade against the sun. Some birds we saw, crested goshawk. This the green imperial pigeon, a very rare visitor here. I think was surprised to see this bird here in this garden. So we also do the count along the lake area. The bird we saw, some birds we saw here, the stock-billed kingfisher, one of the biggest kingfisher around. And the wader, this is a striped heron. So some birds we saw at the foothill because of this fruiting tree at the foot of the Maxwell Hill. We saw this beautiful bulbul. This is a skinny-breasted bulbul. Also the grey-breasted and the red-throated barbet. I think we saw another 2 or 3 of these barbet here. So at the last day of the event, all teams gathered for presentation on the bird count at the penthouse. This was a beautiful area, nice area. So Mark from WBCM giving this presentation. Well, I love his expression. So this is the happy moment. So all participants were given each a souvenir, as a remembrance. So in my opinion, Taiping is a great destination for bird watching because it covers highland, lowland, and also mangrove area. The highlands of Maxwell Hill, the urban park of Taiping Lake Gardens, the mangrove of Kuala Sipitang, and all this in a radius of maybe 30 to 35 kilometers. Transportation is very easy. Food and lodging is excellent and relatively cheap. And most important, the people here are very, very friendly. So once again, Warbird Club is honored to be part of Taiping Bird Week 2021. Thank you for your attention. Take care and stay safe. Let me stop my presentation. Stop sharing.
Terima kasih diucapkan kepada semua ahli panel di atas perkongsian yang sangat menarik, dan saya percaya kesemua penonton memperoleh manfaat melalui perkongsian oleh ahli-ahli panel yang hebat dan berpengalaman luas dalam bidang pemerhatian burung. Untuk makluman para penonton, pada jam 2 petang ini, slot kedua akan diteruskan dengan sesi perkongsian ilmu oleh Dr. Nur Munira Azman daripada Shorebird Peninsula Malaysia Project. Beliau akan memberikan perkongsian berkaitan burung-burung pantai dan kisah penghijraan burung tersebut seperti dari mana mereka datang dan kenapa. Sangat menarik sekali. Jangan lepaskan peluang untuk sama-sama menonton melalui Facebook Live Taiping Bird Week 2021, Fascinating Taiping, Zoo Taiping dan Night Safari, dan Facebook Majlis Perbadanan Taiping. Sehingga di sini sahaja slot bird watching My Personal Experience. Jumpa pada slot petang ini bersama Encik Saiful atau Apong selaku moderator. Sehingga di sini saja untuk slot bird watching My Personal Experience. Jumpa pada slot petang bersama Encik Saiful atau Apong selaku moderator. Jom petang ini. Terima kasih di atas sokongan anda. Sampai berjumpa lagi. Jom sertai Taiping Bird Week 2021 secara maya. Ayo!